From the moment we take our first breath, our time is limited on this earth. With each second that goes past, we are one step closer to the end of our lives. With this immense pressure looming over us, we have to decide, what do we want to accomplish with our limited time and resources? Even once we find something we're passionate about, something we want to strive for, we find that we are competing not with just ourselves, but with the billions of other individuals who might have that same dream. With no redos in life, and each person having their own strengths and weaknesses, what is one supposed to do? To complicate matters further, talent is not distributed evenly amongst human beings. Some of us are good at one thing, while others excel in another. So what is an individual supposed to do when they have found their true desire and passion in life, and yet they have little or no aptitude in that skill? Especially with millions and millions of others being far more talented in that pursuit. Should the individual give up on their dream, find another way to live their life, or press forward, knowing full well that failure is a likely option? I imagine that's what the author One felt back in 2009 when he began his story, simply called One Punch Man. When One began to draw the One Punch Man webcomic, he might have known that he had something really special in this story. However, he probably was also aware that by traditional standards, his art was subpar. While it could still communicate basic information on what was happening in the story, it would be very hard for him to stand out amongst the other countless artists, all pursuing the dream of having their story being told amongst their peers. However, One pressed on anyway, choosing to move forward with his dream of being a storyteller, specifically through the comic medium. He began to publish his webcomic on his personal website in 2009. As the years went on, the story slowly became recognized, and in 2012, approximately 8 million people had started to read the story. Soon others took notice. A manga rendition was made, as well as 2 anime seasons. Now One Punch Man has become a worldwide success, and One has beaten the odds. Continuing on with his passion, One would begin to create another manga series called Mob Psycho 100, in parallel with his webcomic. That too would eventually be picked up for an anime adaptation and will again achieve worldwide success. There's no doubt that what really made One stand out amongst the crowd is his writing, and really his ability to develop characters. In both of his standout stories, Mob Psycho 100 and One Punch Man, people have had vested interest in the main characters and the side characters. In Mob Psycho, everyone has loved seeing Mob develop from a shy, naive child into a full-fledged person, confident in his own abilities and how to move forward in life. While in One Punch Man, it's a bit of a flipped story where Saitama, the main character, is arguably already fully developed, having surpassed the limits of his world. Instead, we get to follow along the side characters in Saitama's life, such as Genos, the other S-Class heroes, Speedos and Sonic, and especially in the second season of the anime, Garo, where these characters develop both in abilities as well as personality. When doing research for this video, I found that there wasn't a ton of information about One himself. And all I really feel like I know about the guy and the connection I feel with him is just through his works. While it's true that he really does have an amazing talent for writing, this never would have really been discovered if he was unwilling and too scared to try to draw his initial webcomics. And for that, I admire his bravery and his persistence, and which has inspired me to also pursue my own storytelling, despite the fact I'm also not quite as gifted as others. And I hope for people watching this video, or others who enjoy reading one's work, that they're able to also use one as an inspiration in whatever pursuit they do. Again, you'll never be the best at anything, as there are too many people on this planet that we're competing against. But we shouldn't let that discourage us if we really want to achieve something. And for that, I really am a big fan of One, the person, not just his One Punch Man comic. I will say though, I know I felt a little bad semi-bashing his art, but honestly I actually do enjoy the webcomic style. I like with how simplistic the line work is, we're still able to tell what's going on, and I actually wouldn't necessarily call it bad art. As for me, as long as art is able to communicate its message, it's still considered a good piece of work. However, I do believe aesthetically it's not as pleasing as other artists, such as the manga rework of the same comic. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you enjoyed this, and like and dislike the video accordingly. I hope you have a great rest of the day wherever you are, and have a good one.